As the 2023 general elections draw nearer, the need for registered voters to collect their PVCs to enable them participate in their process has again come to the fore. This is to ensure that voters are not disenfranchised, while those elected do not face legitimacy crises from those who could not cast their votes. The report.
Every 4 years, Nigerians troop out to electing leaders who they believe will provide the much-needed dividends of democracy that will make life easier for them via a democratic election. Most times, the number of people that elect leaders are small compared to the overall population. Out of the over 84 million of the registered voting population, a good number of them have no PVC, a situation that leaves many worrying.
First and foremost, as a Nigerian, it is part of my civic right to have my permanent voter's card so that I will have the opportunity of voting to select my leaders or leaders during the general elections.
To these civil servants, the method of collection and distribution of PVC ought to have been flexible, as most people could not afford spending long hours for collection.
It's very important to get our PVC because that is the only power to elect our leaders. That is the only assets that we can use to elect the leader of our choice.
Whoever emerges through a process where majority do not participate could suffer legitimate crisis, according to these political scientists. The capability of INEC to register large number of prospective voters, he said, is another factor why many do not possess the PVC and calls for an improvement in the process.
Well, you see, even the 7 out of every 10 Nigerian, the 72 million that have the PVC, we can say their PVCs are ready, but not all of them are actually in possession of the PVC. And this is not a good development for the country's democracy, for the individual citizen, and for the entire political process.
Taking part in the process of electing leaders is a civic responsibility that requires all eligible and registered voters to participate in.
Nigerians have been urged to get their permanent voters' cards and elect leaders of their choice to avoid regret in 2023. A cross-section of Kaduna residents who stated this while speaking with Trust TV say the only way to get credible leaders into the power and get rid of bad governance is by obtaining PVC and voting on election day. The report.
Across the length and breadth of Nigeria, the issue of non-collection of the permanent voter card, PVC, resonates as these cards remain piled up in INEC offices. Sadly, as the 2023 elections draws closer, those who do not collect their cards will be disenfranchised. The story is not different in Kaduna State.
The only weapon Nigerians have in their hand is their PVC. That's the only thing that can secure them to restore a sustainable democracy that will restore every peaceful living.
The time is around the corner. Try and collect your PVC. Once you get your PVC, then you can vote any credible candidate.
People cannot change a system in a democratic setting without a PVC, because that's your ticket to vote somebody out or to vote somebody in.
While some have given many reasons as to why they are yet to collect their PVCs, some say they are angry that those in power have failed to deliver on their promises.
They have reason why they don't want to collect the way this APC promise that they are going to deal with the security, corruption, and the economy. All their promises failed. They fail all on their promises. So that is why many people, they don't want to even collect their PVC, even to vote.
I know many Nigerians will be angry due to some aggrieved showing their concern that the government failed to meet their expectation. But we cannot generalize that. In every situation, in every people, there are good and there are bad. But we cannot decide to step back to say we cannot vote again. Failing to vote is like we're recruiting bad governance and whatsoever.
The Independent National Electoral Commission in Kaduna says they are facing challenges in the collection of old PVCs as residents have refused to come for their cards.
Basically, we have two categories of PVC. We have the old ones for the 2017 CVR, and we have the new ones which we received for the Q1 and Q2 of 2021. So for the old PVCs, we have been battling to actually distribute them for a number of years now. They are actually quite large in number, and due to so many factors, those cards have not been distributed the way they should go. We are aware that in some places people have moved due to the security challenges. That is why those cards actually are still lying down in our offices. We still have about 184,376 of those old cards.
The best way now INEC will do, they should go and meet cleric. That is the only way so that they can preach to them that they should go and collect their PVC so that they can even change the government. Without PVC, you cannot even, without your voter's card, you cannot even change the government.
The electoral umpire explained that the commission has addressed the collection of the card by proxy.
The challenges are not far from the fact that people are used to coming for, collecting these cards by proxy. But now, the fact that people have to come physically, I think it's a challenge for some people moving around to get their cards.
For the citizens to elect credible leaders, they must have the PVC. But how will those without PVCs exercise their franchise in the forthcoming general election? The question, indeed, begs for answers. Lami Sadiq for Trust TV News, Kaduna.
You're watching Trust TV News Hour.